Hello, Twin Flames, and welcome to the daily reading for April 20th, 2018. I already meditated and prayed on the deck, and I laid out the spread so as to save some time and get right into the reading. And this is consistent on what we have seen over the last several days. What I love is that it is a beautiful, positive, inspirational reading for my fellow viewers. And I appreciate seeing the positivity in this reading. This is telling me that a lot of us, I think, had suffered stagnancy in the past, particularly as it relates to our finances. And it is appearing that there is fruits of our labor that will be coming forth if they haven't already. And that is a sign that we are ascending on our path and that we are moving forward and that we are in the will of the divine. The divine wants to prosper us, and having comfortable financial stability is part of peace. And I have been on many sides of this coin, so I'm going to start with I opened today to Psalm 90. And Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever. You had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting you are God. You turn man to destruction and say, return, O children of men, for 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past. And like a watch in the night, you carry them away like a flood. They are like a sheep. In the morning, they are like grass which grows up. In the morning, it flourishes and grows up. In the evening, it is cut down and withers. So right now, we are in the morning, and we are really experiencing the awakening, is what that reminds me of, and the ascension process. And in my first video, which, because I did on another device, I haven't gotten up, but I will. On this spread, I'm using a different camera, and I'm hoping that it's a lot more clear for you. I'm hoping that you can hear me. And so I'm going to begin the reading. And in the beginning position, in the work position, we have again the Four of Swords. And we had this the day before yesterday. So as we go into the weekend, I want you to consider relaxing. I want you to consider going for a spa day, or going to the beach, or doing something in nature, and just recharging your batteries and regenerating yourself, and getting some rest, and maybe some reflection and introspection. We've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work, and it's time to kind of rest. Just rest. Stop thinking, stop planning, stop, maybe even stop looking at some videos, and just rest. Put on some good healing meditation music. When I do these readings, I listen to an aura cleanse meditation, which helps me stay in tune with the guides, with the cards, to speak to you in a clear and concise manner. I pause a lot so that I can get the words. Sometimes the words don't come to me. I can't articulate the thoughts into words, but this is pretty clear. Rest. Maybe you're recuperating from an illness. Now, illnesses can come from not taking the time to heal your mind and your spirit, and we don't want that for you. The angels and the guides and God does not want that for you. This is a twin flame reading for sure. We have the Emperor in the home position. And the financial stability associated with this card, you see how he's just standing there with kind of that beautiful glow and circle around him. He is well clothed, so that's where I sense that a lot of us are coming into some stability. Your projects are taking off. There's a lot of messages about the projects taking off that you have been working on, or that you're thinking about working on. That it's time to start taking steps toward them, and keep them moving. You need some action behind it. He also represents making decisions based on fact. So staying away from your emotions. The rest of the reading also refers to our emotions and maintaining a balance. We have a Temperance card, we have a Justice card, the Four of Swords, maintaining our emotions, maintaining even some of our thoughts. Sometimes our thoughts are still going into the darkness of, oh, it's never going to happen, or, what's he doing now, or what's she doing now? And really, I'm going to put this idea out there. If you're focusing on that, you're not focusing on you. And the importance of this journey is to maintain balance and centeredness, regardless of what is going on around you. Our job is to sustain, to gain, sustain, and maintain our own peace of mind, heart, and then the rest will follow and flow into place. Don't be overly influenced by emotions. If you are, pause, meditate, relax, breathe. Deep breathing exercises are a great way to relax. So the Temperance card, which is in the unexpected position, which, for some of us it is an unexpected Temperance. Patience, tempered emotions, tempered thoughts, for a receptive environment for reconciliation. So if we're not balanced and tempered, reconciliation and reunion is, it'll make it difficult. So the watcher of the video is the one who has the spiritual authority, essentially. I think that's the best way to put that. And it is a responsibility. It's a responsibility to maintain your own spiritual, emotional, physical balance. Because the person that is not watching this, the twin that is not watching this, may still be in the 3D and dealing with clearing and going through the ascension process, may even not be awakened. This is a process, and God gave us the free will to either do the work to move forward or not do the work to move forward. And to do the work, as many of you know, is painstaking, and it is just hard. It is a full-time job for some of us to get clear, to heal, to let the emotions and the belief systems be released and replaced by this thought of love and unconditional love in particular. Unconditional love has stages. It's kindness, it's forgiveness, it's long-suffering, it's patience, and it's tolerance. And we teach what we learn. So if we're impatient right now, then I want to encourage you to see what's causing you to be impatient. Sometimes our expectations can cause impatience, and we are not at our highest and best use if we are in any of those negative sides of unconditional love. The outcome is justice, so things will turn out in your favor. You can see this beautiful card. She is blindfolded again. We had this card last night. So yesterday into today, what I like is that they're telling us the same message. It is consistent with messages that I've seen even online through other twin flames. I do like to check myself. I don't want to put out information. Well, that's not true because the guides are guiding me. So, but I find it encouraging and validating, if you will, that the information is consistent, that we want to do our work in order to have a joyful experience. You know, a lot of us went through sometimes years of pain and suffering. And the purpose of this journey is to clear and to release, clear and release, clear and release. And some of us had very deep-seated belief systems that were difficult to release. Mine, I can share with you about doing readings and being raised in a particular religion. These were taboo. And I've been guided to do the readings, just do the readings. So I'm going to continue with the reading, and then I'll go into more of the talking points. And then your role, which is position number 4, the Ace of Pentacles. So you're a manifester. You are a fabulous manifester. New business ventures. And the entirety of this spread, we have 2 major arcana, the Emperor and the Temperance card. They're telling us that if we can maintain our emotions and the negative thought system is what's causing the stagnancy in a business venture. I am proof of that. The readings for me are part of my ascension process so that I can move on to help more people. I am reminded of I don't know where I got this story, but I have to share it. When Jesus was being raised on that 3rd day in his ascension, you know, so the tomb, the stone was moved from the tomb, and there were Roman guards protecting that tomb to make sure nobody, you know, messed with anything. And out Jesus arises, and he is ascended above them, and there is a voice from the heavens saying, did you bring as many people to me as you could? And Jesus is heard saying, yes, Father, I brought as many people to you as I could. And God says to Jesus, well done, my faithful servant. And away he goes. Now, this is what the Roman guards had witnessed. And I wish I could find that. And I'm praying for the angels to bring that back to me. But that's what our job is, to bring more people into the light, into God's kingdom as we possibly can. And I have been given this opportunity by way of using the oracle cards and the tarot to bring as many people to God, to the light, to healing, to releasing of old belief systems as possible. And the device that we get to use in this modern day is YouTube. So thank you for that. So angels, which deck? I shared with the viewers last night that I have this new Angel Answers card. So I think I want to Angel Answers Oracle cards. So I think I want to use this deck and ask the angels as we go into this weekend. A question, and yeah. So at the bottom of the deck we have the 7 of Pentacles, and here's this beautiful lady picking from the fruits of her labor, and so into the weekend, have some fun, rest and fun. Nurture your soul. That will help find balance. If there's children in your immediate vicinity, spend some time with them. Their innocence is infectious. To be like a little child, it is written in the Bible, because the little children, they don't have any expectations. Little children, when they get upset, let's say they're on, in the playground, and another child takes their sand bucket, and the kid goes running to his mom saying, crying, and oh, they took my bucket, and mom says, oh, it's okay, go back and play. And they go back and play together as if nothing ever happened. So they don't hold on to grudges, they don't carry resentments, they just go into the next moment. And unfortunately, as adults, because of the conditioning process, we do not have that ability, like a little child, to just go into the next moment and forget the wrong that was done to us. And I want to encourage people to learn how to do that. And the best way to learn is to have a teacher. And children, if you allow it, can be your teacher. They just move from moment to moment. Animals too, just move from moment to moment. They don't hang on to anything, really. I mean, unless it was traumatic and abusive, then there's some more clearing. But that's kind of what we're going through, is clearing any of the abusive stuff that occurred in our life, whether it was self-abuse or external abuse from family, old relationships. You want to get those cleared from you. And that may be what's causing the lack of tempered emotions, is that we have a memory from an old relationship. Some of this goes back to family of origin stuff, but balanced emotions, using some intellect, like, is this true? Ask yourself the question when an emotion arises, is this true? Because sometimes it's just a past experience coming forth, and that can be surrendered in prayer to God and to the divine. Please help me heal this emotion. And when I went through some of this conditioning process or unconditioning process, or this renewal process, I remember feeling like God had his thumb on my head, and I was just spinning in circles, and he was saying, just stay still. Let me remove the weeds from your heart, the weeds that I was using to protect myself. Anger was a device I used to keep people away from me. Cutting people out of my life was a device I used. And those devices were no longer useful, especially if I was going to be useful to God and to my fellow man, to not hang on to resentments and judgments. Oh my gosh, judgments. That's why the Justice card shows balance. You can see that they are equally balanced. So this takes time. It's a process. It takes patience to get into this ability to see more clearly. She's blindfolded here. So she's using, and I think I shared this in yesterday's video, she's using her senses. And that's what we're supposed to do. Use our senses in a fruitful way that creates harmony in our lives. And harmony, it really is a peaceful existence, a joyful existence. And if we're not in harmony, the rest and relaxation is necessary, and that's what that's telling us. So I just kind of, okay. Oh, Knight of Swords, swift moving energy. Yeah, again, Nine of Pentacles. So we have more pentacles, just enjoying the fruits and enjoying the beauty. Joy is in the journey. There is no destination, and then at the bottom of that came the Chariot. So we're moving. We want to be in balance as we move forward. This is really a powerful reading. Okay, so I guess my question is there anything else you want the collective to know? Angel Answers. My first time using this online. Anything else you want us to know for this very clear, positive reading? Anything else that we need to know? So yeah, in the near future. So if you are starting a new business venture. It is in the near future, not far away. This is beautiful. I love the colors in here. You have a midnight blue. You have the cosmos and the angels above you. Look for their signs. They send signs to us, and so yesterday I refused to listen to the signs for whatever reason. I was in a funk, and I said, maybe I shouldn't be doing these readings, and so I didn't. And I had such pain in my shoulders for the entirety of the day, and it came into my awareness to go to a local meditation store, crystal store that had meditations. And so I had a beautiful meditation where I actually, it was guided, there were other people there. When I arrived, I was able to participate in the consecration of a new healing location on the property. And it was a circle of women who were praying over and consecrating this building for the new business that is going in there. And it was so cool. So I went there for the meditation, but I was a part of a consecration. The woman, when I got there, was crying like, wow, I was waiting for you. So I guess all was not lost yesterday, and the validation that I was right where I was supposed to be. I also started my book yesterday, which I'm very excited about. It's the 10 Commandments of the modern day version of the 10 Commandments for a joyful life. So I'm pretty excited. I got very far. I don't feel like it's going to be a very long book. I feel like it's just going to be a guide and a process. I think, there are 12 commandments, but I think the 2 that Jesus brought and then the 10 that came down off the mountain with Moses were meant for us to be in harmony with our fellows. And as we can tell in the world, there is a lot of chaos. Our job is to bring peace to that chaos. By way of prayer and supplication, we are conduits for light. And these readings are to encourage you to stay in the light, to stay in the motion of positivity, of generating goodwill. So maybe while you're out and about and you're at a Starbucks, buy a coffee for the person behind you. Just do generous things. Maybe if you're part of a church, make a generous donation this week. Those things are intended for the collective. So I belong to a church that is that is called an ARC church, Association of Related Churches. So it's not a denominational church per se, but it is a church that is more unconventional. A lot of beautiful music, singing, camaraderie, fellowship, lots of groups, and I have found that it is very grounding for me. But one of the things that they do during the service is that they say, when we pass the basket, if you're in need of food, shelter, and clothing, if you're an adult in need of food, shelter, and clothing, feel free to take any loose cash out of the bucket. Wow. When have you heard that in a church? I am just like blown away. Because most churches pass the basket and then there's, ushers waiting, maybe watching even to make sure you don't take it. But this church offers that you should take it if you're in need. And because everything that came to me came from God. Everything that came to the church came from God, they say. And that's a truth. And that's a truth. And so these cards are supposed to bring you to a truth that you can build a foundation on. And that's what I want to teach about. That's what I want to share with everybody. That's what I want to provide for you, is the foundation that is a concrete foundation, no longer on sand. So my readings are a little different from the average person, where we talk about the twin flames. Now, yes, this is a twin flame reading, but this could also be for the general population because, excuse me, we're all looking for love. We're all looking to be in relationship. I consider myself a divine feminine because I like the feel of that particular title. Some of us have titles that are not conducive to healing, like maybe the title of I'm obese, or I'm overweight, or I'm addicted, or I am a control freak. So these cards are saying that many of us have moved out of those control issues. Maybe we have moved out of the addiction issues and have found some temperance. Maybe we have moved out of some of the anger issues and financial issues and illnesses. Illnesses are caused by stagnancy. Illnesses are caused by a lack of energy within. And if we are convalescing from an illness, then you definitely are meant to hear this. If you are overworking, overachieving, then you're still looking on the outside to be filled within. And that empty hole really needs to be filled with spirit, with God, with the divine. And the angels, they're here to guide us. In the near future, things will happen. Compromise and temperance are synonymous. And it doesn't mean to sacrifice your soul. Compromise, I would encourage that we look up that definition to see exactly what compromise means, because some of we're not compromising our values. We're not compromising ourselves anymore. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be compromising between our head and our heart. Balance between our head and our heart. There are things that are absolutely not a compromise. No, I will not go to for me personally, I'm not going to go to a dingy bar. Or I'm not going to go to McDonald's for dinner. I'm not making that compromise. But I will look at maybe your church. I will like that experience. I will look at that. Doesn't mean that I'm going to drop my church and go to your church. It means that I'm going to go to your church to check it out, but I'm still part of mine. So compromise, I'm willing. Compromise, willing, state of willingness. So state of willingness. Yesterday morning, I don't know how willing I was to do a reading. I had just got sideswiped with some emotions and some things that had happened this week that I'm just ignoring, because you know what? Just because somebody isn't in the truth doesn't mean I have to play into it, and I don't have to acknowledge somebody else's bad behavior. I can turn away and focus on how it made me feel, and mourn, and seek truths. And that's what I encourage people to do. Seek truths. When we are emotional, it is a guidepost. So there might be things that you are being guided to do. This week, for sure, you're being guided to find emotional balance. You are being guided to temper yourself. You're being guided to stand. The Emperor is a strength position. It is a male energy. So for the female, if you've been overly emotional, you want to stand. You are a queen. In one of the readings, of course, I haven't gotten clear to put that up yet, but it was all queens. Be a queen. Be the queen that you are. Be the queen that God made you to be. You are a queen. Don't settle. Don't compromise. Certainly don't compromise McDonald's over, a Doc's or an Emerald Lagasse restaurant, because you deserve Emerald. But you want to be able to know within yourself what compromises you're willing to make, and which ones you're not. And if you make a decision that goes against that, you're going to get those feelings that support, yeah, no, that's not for me. Spend time alone in nature meditating. So this validates what I asked you to do based on what this card says, based on what this card says, and based on what this card says. So you have a male and a female here. Spend time alone in nature meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. So there you go, viewers. That's your reading going into the weekend. May you have a very blessed Friday and encouraged. Be encouraged out there, young ones. Be encouraged, old ones. And, I know I am, so I want to thank you all for watching. I am looking to get the links up, but I can email links to you for private readings, 30-minute readings, live or video recorded. And that's up to you. I have the link prepared. I just haven't been able to figure out how to get it into the little description box. I am a life and recovery coach. So if you're interested in a coaching program, I do 3-month programs weekly. I can do them via Skype and FaceTime. I can help you in the middle with texts. If you're struggling on this journey, I can provide you some valuable experience and insight, and that's what a coach does. Valuable insight. I know a lot of us will not talk to people in our 3D world about this journey because some of us have raised eyebrows. I know I don't talk about it in my daily journey, though I have found in my relocation people that are much more open to this journey and supportive. So here yet is another beautiful divine feminine who is anointed, if you will, to be of service and to exchange energy with those that might be having a hard time on this journey. That site is chooserecoverynow.com. Choose Recovery Now is really recovering our heart, mind, and soul. So I want to thank you again for watching. I wish you a very blessed day. Until tomorrow, beautiful people. Love you.